Hello, my name is Glen, and thank you so much for taking a leap of faith and arriving here. So please let me tell you what we can do for you. But before I do, please allow me a couple of minutes to tell you my personal story about how my caregiving company came to be. Basically, it was because of concern for my dad's well-being. You see, my brother called me to say that our dad was not his normal self, because even though our mum had passed away more than 10 years previously, our dad had surprised us by coping far better than we had hoped. Now, bearing in mind that he was 78 when Mum passed, he had, until this point, always soldiered on in a very independent way. It was rather strange that there didn't seem to be the total breakdown that we had worried about. He continued to cook his own dinner, sit and listen to the news on the radio, potter around in the garden, and really didn't seem fazed at all. Like I say, not what we had expected. But as I said, I got the call from my brother, and he expressed that Dad was acting differently. Apparently, Dad was feeling a little lost, not his normal, sharp self. He didn't like to admit it, but he said he was feeling vulnerable and he constantly worried about, well, nothing really. I said to my brother that this might have been expected when Mum passed, but it was totally out of character after 12 years of him being seemingly indestructible. My brother was like a guardian angel. He took time from work, moved in with Dad, and monitored him very closely. He took Dad for medical checks, he asked questions of all the professionals, and to cut a long story short, he ended up finding visiting home care for Dad. Twice a day, someone visits Dad, cooks him breakfast or lunch, and has a tidy up around his home. But you can probably guess what helps Dad the most: just having someone to talk to. Dad needs interaction as much as possible, that human touch that makes everything seem comfortable and secure. So this brings me to why I created the video call company. You see, my brother said that once the second caregiver leaves after lunch, Dad just relapses back into the negative state of mind that seems to hang over him. I said to my brother that it would probably help if someone gave him a call mid-afternoon before my brother drops in to see him on his way home from work. But trying to get family and friends to commit to a regular phone call was just a little too much to ask. Of course, those that know my dad have nothing but empathy for his situation, but the truth is everyone is so busy these days. We won't go into that, but it did make me think to myself, if we're in this situation, then there must be many more other people in similar circumstances. So I just went for it, and here we are, the creation of CareCall4u. Of course, the main objective is to provide that little bit of friendly contact that we all need at times, and it works even better when in collaboration with other forms of care, like in my dad's case, the home visits. But being aware that people like my brother and I, and the other sons and daughters, and the other families that have to support their elders through these issues, I wanted to add a few extra services to help alleviate the stress of it all. Extra services such as the call recordings. We record every call, whether it is an audio call or video call, and they can be made available to the client we're in agreement with. Then there is the CCL, the Concern Contact List. You can list as many names and phone numbers as you wish, and if we have a concern about the well-being of your loved one, we will call the first name and number at the top of your list. And if there's no answer, then we move on to calling the second one, and so on. We know the well-being of your mum or dad is of the utmost importance to you, so in turn, it becomes that important to us as well. Remember, my brother and I have been where you are. Then there is the potential emergency situation. This is simple. When you book our services, you decide whether you approve of us calling 999 should we feel that there is a serious need to do so. It is a simple box-ticking option. Yes, you approve, or no, you would prefer an alternative action. It's up to you. I'm guessing you are wondering what this all costs. Prices, offers, commitments, discounts, and other details, and I'm more than happy to explain it all to you. I think you will be pleasantly surprised at how affordable our service is. But once again, it goes back to what my brother and I endured. As I'm sure you're aware, the cost of private healthcare is not cheap. In fact, it is shockingly and frighteningly expensive for most people. But I feel I have created a care service that is affordable to most, as you will see when we have a chat. So let's move forward. Please drop your details into the form and I'll message you to arrange a convenient time to call. I fully understand this is an emotional time for all involved, and if I can help, I'll be happy to do so. If for whatever reason this is not for you, then at least we tried. So please fill in the form, send it off to me, and I'll be in touch. So there we are. Now, it would be great if you shared your story with us. Remember, we are here to help, and as we say here at CareCall4u, it's your call.